The Google Code Jam 2019 round 1A, starting in 1 second. Did it start? Great. Okay, cool. So what do we have? The first problem is alien rhyme. Each word has the accent on one index. Okay. Okay, so we want to match up pairs. None of the other words in other pairs. Okay. So we have 1,000 words, and they're each of length 50. And we get to pick a suffix for each of the letters. We get to pick a suffix for each of the words, and it has to match with exactly one other word. So it really seems like we should count how many times each suffix appears, and greedily take suffixes that appear twice. So it seems like you want to match every word with the longest possible match with any other word, because any shorter match is going to result in a conflict. I think that's true. Okay, well, let's give the input, and maybe we'll figure out more as we go. And I guess I will try using their interface. See how that goes. Syntax highlighting is not a deal. Okay. The rhyme is only messed up if they're the same length, the suffix. Okay. Interesting. Huh. So is this greedy idea correct? So what exactly is the claim? I think the claim is like if you go through all pairs and find the longest match, we can pair that pair up at that length. Maybe. syntax highlighting going. Okay, that's nicer. Yeah, so is that actually true? Well, what else could we do? We could pair them up at a shorter length. Is that ever beneficial? No, because if they were going to conflict with something, they might as well be at the longer length. Or we could pair them up with other words. Is that ever beneficial? No, because we could just pair up the other words with each other. Is that right? So suppose we're coming up jam and jam, and instead they could pair up with ham and bam. Yeah. Okay, so I think this claim is true. Does this lead to an efficient solution? Not quite, because there's n squared pairs to try, and we could pair up n things, so this is like n cubed, which actually might be fast enough, but you know, we can do a little bit better. I think we should just sort them like reversed. And then sort of adjacent, the answer will always be some adjacent pair. I think that's probably true. Okay, sure. Size AI dot size. Okay, so now we have reversed, so now we can sort them. Check what we've used. And we're going to try I and I plus 1. Really, we want to like delete things after they're used. We probably do. See how vectors work again. How does erase go? Yeah, okay. No problem. Okay, so this E thing is silly. But we do need to go to that size because we're going to be deleting stuff. Okay, so the match is now one longer than the true score. And let's keep track of the suffixes that we've used. Okay, so we want to take a substring. Subster, which is 0, and then the length. And match is the length. And we can be slow here. That should be true. And so well used count. So now we found a match that's actually valid. Match is greater than best. Best equals match. Best I equals. This all needs to go in here. Okay. So. Now we just make the match. So if best is greater than 0, otherwise we can't find any more matches, so we're done. So what are we going to do in this case? So we've matched two things. I.erase best I.erase best I. Erase in the back, we don't need to reindex. Used, should probably do this before we delete stuff. Used insert rai dot best I. Yeah, and all these substers are complete nonsense. I.subster 0 match. Okay. And now we can just print out the answer that we found. Okay. So this would be nice to have a compiler. It's the disadvantage of working in their interface, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, I think I'll just switch to. hardest problem? Okay, it seemed hard. Jeez. Off the end there. 2062. Seems sort of plausible. Okay, well, let's give it a shot. So we can upload and can submit. And I think if it works on the small, it should work on the large. Okay. So what's the main thing that we're relying on here? It's the sorted property, I think. That if we sort in reverse, then the best things are always guaranteed to be next to each other. And I think that's definitely true because what we want to find is the longest matching suffix, which is a prefix now that we've reversed them. And if two things have a matching prefix, then they will be adjacent in sorted order. That's almost the definition of sorting. So that should be true. And I already argued for why using the longest match should be good. Basically, right, so what are the other things why would the longest match be bad? It's either because we want to use a shorter match, but there's no point. We only want to use a shorter match if there's a conflict, and we could just swap this guy and the guy it's conflicting with. You get the same answer. Or we might not want to pair these guys up because we might want to pair them with other words. But however we were going to pair them with other words, we can just pair the other words in that same way. So, yeah. Okay, so I think this is right. And the fact that it passes the small means that I don't think there are any sort of stupid bugs. It's possible n equals 6 is not enough to see all the behavior. I'm pretty convinced. Okay, let's go to a different problem.